Who are we? Where do we come from? Asks Father Hennesey at the outset of his absorbing story of the American Catholics. The present work furnishes abundant evidence by way of answers to these questions. That this evidence is indeed a genuine part of the national epic was made clear in the Harvard Encyclopedia of American Ethnic Groups, where an alphabetical listing of over 120 groups of Americans begins with the Acadians and comes close to ending with the Ukrainians. The Acadians, who in 1755 endured a cruel expulsion by the British from their homes in Nova Scotia and the neighboring regions, were solidly Roman Catholic, and their descendants, the Cajuns of Louisiana, have remained so. If, religiously speaking, present-day Americans of Ukrainian background are of a more varied pattern, the first of their number who began immigrating from Eastern Europe in the 1880s, largely from Galicia, were likewise Catholics. The fact that today they number over 500,000 spread through 6 eparchies or dioceses testifies to the variety of ethnic strains and liturgical rites within the Catholic community of the United States. And the Acadians and Ukrainians are but 2 of the nearly 40 groups of Americans whose religious history is traced or touched upon in this volume. At a time when ethnic history is enjoying increased popularity, it is important that religious commitment and practice, or the loss thereof, should be set forth. This is especially true in an age when in the public domain religious values are either largely ignored or called in question, for no informed mind will deny that religion has been one of the prime factors in shaping humanity's cultural background from the earliest recorded history to our own day. In this respect, the religious historian has to contend with the deep bias against religion that arose in the 18th century and that succeeded in coloring the efforts of many historians through the 19th and 20th centuries. Peter Gay and Gerald Kavanaugh recognized that fact, but they were not intimidated by it. Experience shows, they remarked, that just as skeptics and atheists can write bad history, religious men can write good history. James Hennesey is a religious man who, as the reader will find, has written good history. His faith commitment is clear, yet it is never permitted to hamper his professional commitment, which is to tell the truth as he sees it, even when that truth reveals the unhappy side of facts relating to the church of which he is a member. If the achievements and successes of American Catholics are recorded here, so too are their mistakes and failures. In a word, American Catholics is written in the spirit of Cicero's famous dictum adopted by Pope Leo XIII when he opened the Vatican archives to the scholarly world in August 1883. The first law of history is to dread uttering falsehood. The next, not to fear stating the truth. As has often been noted, the formal inauguration of the United States and of the Catholic community within its borders occurred in the same year, with George Washington taking the oath of office as president in April 1789 and John Carroll being named the first Roman Catholic bishop the following November. The strongly native cast given by the Maryland-born Carroll and his contemporary Catholics was to fade quickly thereafter, however, and within 2 decades following his death in 1815, there had begun the heavy Catholic immigration that completely overshadowed the original Catholic community and fastened upon it the name of the immigrant church.